In a world far, far away called La La Land, there lived an evil scientist named Dr. Evil. She is so devilish that she created an ultra E. coli strand that with just one cell could be fatal to some and do a lot of damage to others. We need to help the local superheroes find out how long they have before all hell breaks loose. To start, we need to find the relative growth rate. I personally always remember that when you solve for a variable in an e exponent, to use ln. It's very important to remember that. To solve this, we have the equation p sub t equals p sub 0 e to the kt. Because E. coli doubles after 20 minutes, we can put t to 1/3 and solve for k. After 20 minutes, if the population doubles, it'll be at 160 cells. So you can set the equation equal to that with the initial population of 80. You then divide 160 by 80 to get e to the k over 3 equals 2. You then proceed by solving for k. You take the natural log of both sides to get rid of the e. The natural log of e equals 1, so we can go ahead and cross that out. You now then get k over 3 equals the natural log of 2. You multiply 3 and get k equals 3 to the natural log of 2. K would then equal the natural log of 8 by the exponent rule with natural logs. To solve this part, you set the first equation equal to the total population. If it took more than one cell to poison someone, we would divide, but we don't have to do that. Now that we have k, we can figure out how long it'll take to reach a certain number. We now set the equation equal to 161,280,000 people for the population that live in La La Land. We then divide by 80. You can see here that I divided by 8 and just removed one of the zeros. You then solve for t, which is a variable in the exponent of e, so you have to natural log both sides and solve for t. You end up getting something almost to 14, so this means Mr. Do-Good doesn't even have 14 minutes to be able to find the device and switch it off. Luckily, Mrs. Critical Thinking anticipated this and went to broker a deal with Dr. Evil. Mrs. Critical Thinking is actually married to Mr. Do-Good. She just prefers her maiden name. It's a good thing that her and Mr. Do-Good are there to save the world of La La Land. Otherwise, it'd be a major catastrophe by now. Even if they were to put the initial amount into a bank with 5% interest compounded continuously, it would take over 138 years to earn. Dr. Evil initially only wanted $1 million, but on word from her advisor bumped it up to $1 billion. This is too much for the city of La La Land though, so 2 other deals are now offered. The first is to put the $1 million in the bank with a 7% interest continuously compounded. This way she would be able to live on the interest and will have immediate access to the money. The second option is to put the money in the bank with a 10% interest continuously compounded until it reaches $500 million. This is half the amount she would receive as a lump sum. She wouldn't have access to it for over 40 years though. This would also mean though that she wouldn't be able to touch this money from this deal for over 40 years. But she would also be receiving a huge amount of money once that 40 years was up. Dr. Evil decides on the first deal, the deal where she gets a monthly income for the rest of her life. Her next evil plan, which isn't really that evil, is to create a mechanism to keep her alive forever so she has an infinite amount of income, $6,000 a month, so she can take over the world that way. No matter which option Dr. Evil chooses, everyone's a winner. The town wins, the superhero wins, and even the villain gets away with some money.